then in John chapter 8, this is another missing man. And in John chapter 8, it's early in the morning, and Jesus is talking. He's at the temple, and he's doing like lessons with Jesus. It says he's teaching a crowd of people. Now at the temple, the religious people, they're not super excited to have him around. But everybody loves Jesus because, again, he's simply irresistible. So all these people are there listening to him, learning from him. And in the midst of Jesus' lesson, the religious leaders throw a woman at his feet, and they absolutely confront him and basically stop the lesson, interrupt. And they say, this woman was caught in the act of adultery. You wonder where the missing man is? Because it takes two to do that tango. That's a missing person, like whatever. Anyways, and they say to Jesus, she's caught in the act of adultery. The Mosaic law says we should stone her, kill her. If you're in Denver, that doesn't mean you go get high. Stoner. You're not a stoner. I know, it's stupid. But what do you say? What should we do? What would you do to this woman, Jesus? And I like what Jesus does, because it is a very intense, heated confrontation. I mean, Jesus is in the heartbeat of Jewish leadership. He is on their turf. And they are challenging and confronting him. The numbers against him, the power, the influence, the whatever. Man, that's a really big deal. And so Jesus, instead of getting nervous and anxious and twitchy, he just takes a pause. He takes some time, and he bends over and starts to write in the dirt. And you're like, what did he write? I don't know. If God wanted you to know, he would have put it in the Bible. And do all your speculation, but you don't know, I don't know, and that's the end of the story. So whatever. He's writing in the dirt. And then he says, and they keep pressing him, pushing. What do you say? And Jesus says to him, well, whoever is without sin, you throw the first stone. And then he goes back and does the writing thing again. Right? And it's interesting because it says these Jewish leaders left one by one. They're all men, starting with the oldest and working their way down to the youngest. Jesus kept writing in the dirt, and they left one after another, after another, after another. If you were in this situation, I think you could put yourself in a lot of different people. You might be somebody in the audience watching. One of the original lesson people that Jesus was talking to early in the morning. Maybe you're like a spectator watching this whole thing. What's he going to do? Maybe you're the woman or the man, whatever, caught in adultery. You're like, ooh, man, I just got exposed. I'm embarrassed. I'm humiliated. I'm ashamed. If I'm caught in the act of adultery, oh my goodness, seriously. Maybe you're one of the Jewish leaders. She's a sinner woman. She's messed up. She's broken Mosaic law. She needs to pay the consequences, change and make her life right, or else we're going to kill her. She deserves. I bet you some of us are the missing man. We didn't even show up. We didn't want to get, put out and exposed. I think all of us can identify with at least somebody in this mix. And yet I like what Jesus does. Because Jesus is fully aware, knows the whole thing, soup to nuts, beginning to end, knows everybody's motives. And he just takes a pause. He waits, asks a question. And I think for every one of us in the room, everybody watching online, we would all say, no, I got sin. I got sin. I got gossip. I've got lying. I've got whatever, a judgment in my soul, in my heart, a lack of compassion. Watched porn last night. we all have our pet sins. We do. And just like that, those Jewish leaders, maybe instead of leaving, maybe we could stay and say, I'm a sinner, please forgive me.